I did not get to say it in my last video because I recorded it before the new year, but happy 2026, guys! Yay! Um, this is deviating a bit from the very shortly established pattern on this channel. It's not a review. This is a showcase of my physical TBR that I'm starting off 2026 with. Exclusively physical, so no like ebooks or like PDFs or anything. Just books that I can currently hold on video that I need to start. um, Not much to say for this intro. Let's get started. The first book I have here, I've already started actually. It's Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. I have read two other Jules Verne books recently, like back to back. I read 20,000 Leagues and then Around the World in 80 Days, which I had good times with. I think the edition I got of 20,000 Leagues kind of ruined my enjoyment of it, just because I'm pretty sure the translation of that edition is actually like dog water, and everyone agrees that it's dog water, and I didn't realize until after I read it, and I was like, Like, I didn't have a bad time with it, but I do think I'd have a better one if I was more careful about the edition that I got. Because, I mean, I got mine at the library, so it's not like I could have... I mean, I probably could have seen if they had any other ones. Oh, well. We make mistakes, guys. But anyway, I need to explain this book. Journey to the Center of the Earth is a sci-fi adventure, as are most of Jules Verne's works. It is about a boy named Axel and his uncle who discover a weird cryptic map that basically shows them how to get to the center of the Earth. So they go along this little journey and meet a bunch of insane stuff on the way, like prehistoric animal communities and all that fun stuff. I do like this book so far. It's just exposition right now, but the exposition is really good because I like the protagonist a lot. He is just, like, I feel like with a lot of sci-fi novels, you'd expect the characters to be, like, more stoked about, like, this epic, awesome journey they're going on. This protagonist is not like that. He does not want to fucking be here, and I just think that is so entertaining for a protagonist. Okay, my next book, I gotta cover the fucking library label. Britt Marie Was Here by Fredrik Backman. I love Fredrik Backman so much. He is my favorite contemporary author ever, bar none. He is so good at writing people, and the Beartown trilogy ruined me. And I'm excited to start this book because it's about this woman called Britt Marie who is just trying to get her life together after her husband cheats on her and she has this sucky job at a recreation center that's falling apart. And the back of the book, I am pretty sure, describes her as like a fussy busybody. Yeah, I am excited for that because, again, Fredrik Backman can fucking write people and he's good at it. So my expectations are high. Backman, do not disappoint me, and everyone should go read his books. This next book I have is the only nonfiction book I think I have on my list. It is The Butchering Art by Lindsay Fitzharris, and it is a biography narrative kind of thing about Joseph Lister and how he contributed to basically changing the terrible, terrible world that was Victorian medicine. And that is right up my alley. I don't know. I love the Victorian era, and I'm a fan of medical history, so I am really excited, I guess, just see what this book has to teach me. Not much to say about it, really. I feel bad about that, but I don't really know what to say when going into nonfiction. Next, we have The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. This book is about a guy named Ivan who dies. I'm kidding. It's specifically about this, high class, successful judge who gets diagnosed with a terminal illness, and him basically having to grapple with his own mortality, which that is just, I'm sold immediately. And the back of this tiny little edition that I have specifically says, how, Tolstoy asks, does an unreflective man confront his one and only moment of truth? I'm floored, and I haven't even started the book yet. I am very excited. This seems right up my alley. I love sad, reflective short stories, and after I finished Monte Cristo, I decided I wanted to tackle more long classics, so I was thinking it'd be cool if I started War and Peace at some point. So I think this is a good chance for me to like just dip my toes into Tolstoy and see if I like his work. So pretty stoked. Next, we have The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I went to this guy's house one time. Pretty cool. But Scarlet Letter is about a woman who has a baby with a man that is not her husband and getting persecuted by her community for it. I'm not sure what to expect going into this book, but I think I am pretty excited. I don't think I've read a book like in this setting. It's set in like puritanical Boston, right? Okay, puritanical New England, whatever. Boston, fuck, same thing. But yeah, that's not a setting I'm very familiar with, and the themes and like the messaging interest me, but I think some of the like symbolism might go over my head because I'm not religious and I know jack shit about religion. Maybe I need to put the Bible on my TBR list. Anyway, next we have The Complete Fairy Tales of Oscar Wilde. I read The Picture of Dorian Gray and I loved it, and it is one of my favorite classics of all time. So not much to say really other than I am stoked to read more of his stuff. By the way, I got this and those two other books, hold on, these collectively for $3. It was a book sale at my local library. Is that not the fucking deal of a lifetime? Anyway, speaking of Oscar Wilde, we have The Importance of Being Earnest and Other Plays. I think it's 2 other plays, but I don't know which ones they are. Okay, it's Lady Windermere's Fan, An Ideal Husband, and The Importance of Being Earnest. Again, just another, I'm excited to read more of Oscar Wilde. My friend has been bugging me for a while now to read The Importance of Being Earnest. So I went out with some of my little Christmas money to my local bookstore, and I was so excited that they still had this on the shelves. Oscar Wilde, you will always be famous. Okay, next we have, you already saw it on the camera if you're watching the video and not having this as background noise, The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. I think that's how you say his name. I'm not French, I don't know. I fucking loved this musical when I watched it in October for the first time. It has not left my brain ever since. I am so excited. Do I need to explain the plot of The Phantom of the Opera for people? I think everybody knows. It's about the world's first incel. I'm kidding. It's about this masked man at a Paris opera house who becomes obsessed with this underdog singer named Christine Daae. I think that's how you say her name. And after she overtakes a role for one of her fellow singers. And he just wreaks havoc on the opera house, basically, while her childhood friend, who's in love with her, and the rest of the opera house face the horrors. Again, fucking love this musical. I just cannot wait to read this. I'm fiending to start it. I cannot wait. I know from what I've heard, it leans more into like the mystery gothic side of things. Not that the musical didn't do that, but I don't know. I think I'll have a better time with the book. But I've heard people say that the musical is better, so who knows really. Next, we have a little collection of stories. This is the Barnes & Noble edition of classic Edgar Allan Poe tales. I have read Poe before. Obviously, I have read Poe before. But I just wanted a just little collection to have of his stuff. I haven't read all of his work, so that's going to be nice. And one thing that I'm excited for going into this is that it has his detective stories. Do people know that Edgar Allan Poe wrote some detective stories? I love detective fiction. You can't really see it on camera, but in the corner of my shelf, I have a little corner dedicated to Sherlock Holmes. So, I guess you could say I'm like normal about that kind of stuff. And yeah, I am very excited. I'm also just like having this on my shelf. Look how fucking pretty that is. It is eye candy. But I am just excited to check out more of Poe's stuff, because from what I have read of him, he is a pretty big inspiration to my own creative endeavors. Okay, the last thing we have here. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Moby Dick is about a man who wants to kill a whale. But, like, no. But, yes, that is what it's about. I have been so scared to start this book. I don't know why. I think because I've heard from a lot of people that it's like really slow and kind of boring. But like, I don't know. I got through 20,000 Leagues and I had like a decent time with it. And people said the same thing about 20,000 Leagues. So I think I'll be fine. I do just really want to know what the fucking deal of this story is because like it's about a guy who kills a whale, but like no, it's not. You know what I mean, right? Like you know what certain classics are about, but like you really don't. So that is mainly why I'm excited to read this book. I think when I do get to reading it, I'm gonna make like a video on it just so I don't lose my mind, and I think that'll make the experience more enjoyable. So you guys can come along with me while I read about the guy who really wants to kill a whale. That is the extent of my physical TBR. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to read all these, but yeah. Maybe I'll make a little post updating you guys if I actually did get through all these and if I'm a fat liar or not. Because honestly, this video mostly serves as like self-discipline so that whenever I go like out to a bookstore and I want to buy a new book, I can think like, you made a whole video about books in your house you haven't read yet. Go read them. So we'll see if I can adhere to that. But that's all I had to say, really. Goodbye.